Welcome to Friends and Fiction. 4 New York Times bestselling authors, endless stories. Novelists Mary Kay Andrews, Kristin Harmel, Kristy Woodson Harvey, and Patti Callahan Henry are 4 longtime friends with more than 70 published books between them. Together, they host Friends and Fiction, with author interviews and fascinating insider talk about publishing and writing, to highlight and support independent bookstores. They discuss the books they've written, the books they're reading now, and the art of storytelling. If you love books and you're curious about the writing world, you're in the right place.
Hello, everyone. It's that time. Welcome to the Friends and Fiction Show. I am Patti Callahan Henry.
I'm Kristin Harmel.
And I'm Mary Kay Andrews.
And this is Friends and Fiction, 4 New York Times bestselling authors, endless stories to support indie bookstores, authors, and librarians. You say 4 New York Times bestselling authors, Patti, but I only see 3 on the screen. So our beloved Kristy Woodson Harvey is on book tour right now, and we will miss her tremendously. But on this week's show, the 3 of us are thrilled to welcome 3 fellow bestselling authors, Heather Gudenkauf, Kaira Rouda, as in I know I messed it up. And Kimberly Belle, Rouda. And Kimberly Belle, also known as the Killer Author Club. Each of them has a new book out this year. And like us, they host a web show where they interview other authors. It is so exciting to make this show a bit of a crossover episode where we are deliberately colliding our 2 worlds. We are so excited to dive in.
But first, we have just a quick reminder to check out all the fun things going on in our Friends and Fiction community at friendsandfiction.com.
Yeah, there you'll find show schedules, details on upcoming in-person events, and links to our bookshop.org page, to the Friends and Fiction official book club with Brenda and Lisa, to our merch store, our book subscription box, and our weekly email newsletter sign-up. In other words, if you want to know more about anything Friends and Fiction offers, and we offer a lot, be sure to check out friendsandfiction.com.
All right, now let's welcome our friends Heather, Kaira, and Kimberly. Heather Gudenkauf is the New York Times bestselling author of 10 novels, including the Edgar-nominated The Weight of Silence, which is such a great title, and Everyone is Watching. The Overnight Guest was an Amazon Best Book of the Year and has been described by Kirkus Reviews as masterful, terrible, and absolutely addicting, tense, taut, and terrifying.
And only in this context can the word terrible
mean
to
something
describe
amazing.
our books. I know it means something great. All right. Kaira Rouda is a USA Today, Amazon Charts, international bestselling, and multiple award-winning author of contemporary fiction. And she explores what goes on beneath the surface of seemingly perfect lives. Her domestic suspense novels include Best Day Ever, The Favorite Daughter, All the Difference, The Next Wife, Somebody's Home, and The Widow. Kaira's novels have been translated into more than 12 languages, and we are, Kaira and I, agent sisters, if that's a real thing. But we share an extraordinary agent.
Now, Kimberly Belle is the USA Today and internationally best-selling author with over 1 million copies sold worldwide, with titles including The Personal Assistant, The Marriage Lie, a Goodreads Choice Award semifinalist for Best Mystery and Thriller, and the co-authored #1 Audible original, Young Rich Widows. Kimberly's novels have been optioned for film and television and selected by Library Reads and Amazon editors as Best Books of the Month, and the International Thriller Writers as nominee for Best Book of the Year.
Together, the 3 of them make up the Killer Author Club, which was established in 2022 as a unique platform for suspense and mystery fans to hear from their favorite authors as they chat about killing. Of the fictional kind. It's fictional killing, or so we believe. Each bi-monthly half-hour show airing on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram features a killer author, a killer cocktail, and a killer giveaway, all in a fun and fast-paced setting.
And what's hilarious is it makes me think of the way we sometimes talk about, especially Mary Kay's books. They're a little murdery. They're just a little murdery. All right, Erica, can you please bring Heather, Kaira, and Kimberly on to talk to us?
Hi, everybody.
Hi, ladies.
Hello.
Hi, Killis.
So good to be
We're
here.
so excited.
Well, we are so thrilled to welcome you to Friends in Fiction because we have so much amazing overlap and we're both trying to, in the same space, bring to readers all kinds of new authors and stories and behind the scenes. And here at Friends in Fiction, we were born out of the pandemic. We launched our show in April of 2020, just while the world was shutting down. Our regular listeners and viewers are very familiar with our origin story. We would love for you killers to tell us how your show got its start.
Same thing, actually. It was during the pandemic, and I was sitting here with the book coming out of somebody's home and thinking, how in the world am I going to get anybody to pay any attention to this when the world's ending? And I realized that Heather and Kimberly both had books coming out about the same time. So I reached out to them and said, how would you guys like to do a killer author club? And they both said yes. So that's how it started, and it's been so much fun.
Oh, I
What-
love that. Sorry.
What
Kate.
happened from there? I mean, tell us.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess what happened was I love marketing and branding. So I kind of already had an idea of what I thought it could be. And since we're all in the mystery and thriller and suspense space, it would be different from what you guys do. But obviously, like, I'm so impressed with your show and what you guys do. So it's a nod to you, but it's a kind of a different approach, just focusing on murder of the fictional kind.
Yeah, Claire. Yeah, and it was
Sorry.
such a great collaboration. We love reading thrillers and mysteries, of course, and we love talking about books like all readers do. And so part of it is a chance for us to fangirl over some of the authors that we love and admire. And so we just have a really fun time getting together, talking about books we love, and sharing them with readers.
Agreed. Yeah. And Kara was like, just say kill as often as possible in the show.
Oh,
It's like in the script. I'm like, remember, we are the Killer Author Club. You must say kill all the time.
I love it. I can see your branding and marketing brain at work right there. That's amazing.
Yeah, but like it's hard to stand out, as you guys know. It's just, to get people's attention and then make it worth their while once they tune in. So that's and we always have a killer question of the episode, like, who do you kill? Why do you kill? How do you kill? All those kind of questions. And that kind of throws some authors who haven't paid attention to our show before.
for a little loop.
Yeah, they're like, are you serious? Like, do you want, we're like, well, fictional or real life? I don't know. We didn't know that about you.
Also, that's what the killer cocktails are for, right? Like if you're a little unsettled by the question, you sip your killer cocktail and all is well.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that is funny too, because they're like, because then you get people drinking their cocktail and then they talk a little more about their killing ways. So it's good.
I'm bearing this in mind for, if we come on your show, that we like don't drink too much of the cocktails before they question us about who we would kill.
Yeah, you guys have to come on our show. We would love it, and we're gentle about the killing. We're not pushy. You can kill theoretically and fictionally speaking. It's fine.
I love it. Okay, so our mission at Friends in Fiction from the start was to shine a light on other authors and on indie bookstores. But what we didn't realize at first was that we were filling a void and providing a sense of community around a shared love of books, which I think is very much what you guys are doing too. So we know as well as anyone that putting on a regular show with regular author guests, or irregular author guests as the case may be, reading the books, preparing for the interviews, all while having our own careers to manage, our own books to write, all of that. It's all a lot of work. So I would love to ask, first of all, how you all manage it. How about you, Kimberly? You want to give us the inside scoop on
and I think our answers are probably going to be very similar to how you guys manage it, because first of all, there are 3 of us and there are 4 of you. So we kind of round robin the shows and someone is in charge of that show. So every 6 weeks, then it's your turn again for us to work. But we also have an Erica behind the scenes, except ours is named Carrie, and she is our killer assistant, and she handles all the things behind the scenes, reaching out to authors, scheduling, making sure that we get all the information that we need, the book covers and the bios and all the millions of things you have to do to prepare for a show. Because you're right, it is a lot of work. And as much as we love doing it, we also have to write some words.
Yeah.
It's so true. And I think it's also that feeling of when you have a show like this, you kind of have a pact with readers. You have a pact with the people tuning in. And, you can't just show up and kind of wing it. You have to put the work into it, which I know you guys are very much doing too. Heather, what would you say you've learned along the way?
I have learned, and I knew this all along, but, especially as when I started out quite a while ago as a new author, you feel so lost in how to, navigate this crazy world of publishing. And, along the way, I was fortunate enough to be very supported by some established authors. And, as we get more books under our belt and, more confident and established as writers ourselves, it's our opportunity to give back to the community. And so that might be supporting debut authors. It might be supporting independent authors, traditionally published authors. It might be supporting, well-established authors, because we all know it's harder and harder to stand out today. And as marketing budgets and publicity budgets get smaller and smaller at publishing houses, we need to be more creative. And so, again, I've learned, what a great community this is, not only of fellow authors, but of readers. And we're all here to support one another. We love books. We want to share our love for reading first and foremost. And so it's just a lot of fun.
She's also learned a lot about my dogs, because every episode, one of them is, without fail, something, and they are all out of the house right now, just for you guys.
That is so funny.
We know enough about Mary Kay's dogs to fill a book about dogs. So don't you worry one little bit about it. Yeah.
This is a very dog-friendly show.
I always see Heather's dogs on her social media. Is that a German short hair, Heather?
Yes, she is. Lolo. She is just the sweetest little pup ever. And she is truly my sidekick. And I think with all the killers, we all have our sidekicks for dogs. And they've become a part of our writing process. I think that, Lolo's always sitting over here as I write. And when I need a break from the keyboard, we go off for our walks together.
So you're talking about, what it's done for you, how the community has enriched and helped us give back. But we talk about this a lot with each other about how it's actually changed our work. Not only has it changed our life because of the community and the friendship and the citizenry and the live events, and it has changed our life, but how has it changed all three of your work? Do you feel like it's affected your work in different ways? Kimberly, how about you first?
It's definitely changed in, the promoting books. And so Heather and I just went on tour. What was it? I don't know. It's a blur. I think it was last week. It could have been the week before.
It's a blur. That's why Kristy's not here. She doesn't know what day it is.
But Heather and I did an event together. I went to Iowa and it was fabulous. And it was so much fun. And everybody in the place was asking about Killer Author Club and if we're going to write a book together and, if we're going to go on tour together, because I know you guys do that too. So we're talking about doing that as well. And it's such a treat to be able to do events with someone else, when you're out there just plugging away at your book. It can be really lonely. So,
Yes.
How about you, Heather? Has it changed your work or the way you work by interviewing other authors or hearing what they have to say?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, one of the questions we often get to when we get done talking about killing is to talk about the craft. And, we get to learn about, how people write and their process. And I always am gathering, taking notes of the little tidbits that might help and inspire me. And I think this is one we laugh about all the time, but Kaira and I are notorious pantsers when it comes to writing. We write by the seat of our pants. And Kimberly is a tried and true plotter. Well, after getting to know Kimberly and running into a few brick walls with my own writing, Kimberly has kind of transformed me into a plotter. And so the book I'm working on now, I've plotted out.
Your head.
I will let you know how it turns out. But so, just learning from the wisdom of all the writers that we've had the chance to talk to.
Oh my goodness. How about you, Kaira?
I'd say the best outcome of this, or what's changed, is I feel like I have 2 new best friends from it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And and it's beyond the show, probably we're talking every day about something, and just, I don't know, it's so special to have that as an author, and in our lonely worlds, to have that kind of, I don't know, that you can just ask anything and talk about anything. So that's really
and talk about the business side of writing, because sometimes that is very, with other authors, very cloaked in like secrecy. And I don't know why we do that.
And code words, Kimberly, right? Like code words and code words and secrecy, and like just as if you're reading a PW article instead of having a conversation.
Why do we do that?
Yeah.
Significant
very
deal.
nice deal. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's lovely to have people, that you can just send a text to whenever and say, hey, what do you guys think about this?
Yeah, I think that's one of the huge advantages of any kind of author community, especially a close one where you trust everybody, is the 4 of us have an automatic sounding board.
Yeah.
And we can text each other and say, does this work? We never critique each other's manuscripts ever, but we do. I'll send one of these ladies a piece of dialogue or a plot, a thorny plot issue, and I'll ask them, hey, what do y'all think? Is this working? Does this suck? And it's so nice to have that instant feedback. And also, I think, which is huge, to establish that level of trust.
Right.
Yes. Well, and trust in that we can share both the highs and the lows. I mean, like we celebrate the good moments together, but we also are here to lift each other up during the bad moments, because every career is going to have disappointments and things that don't come out quite right. And I think it's important to know that these people who you formed a community with have your back regardless.
Even the readers and people watching us and listening to us right now. So they're part of the Killer Club community. Yeah. They're killer authors. They're part of Friends in Fiction, because the community extends well beyond, our text strings, which if we all got published would probably not be good. But like the beyond that, this reading community, and I know yours too, you're talking, Kimberly, about them showing up. So to give credit where it's due, everybody listening and watching, they've changed our lives and our careers.
Absolutely. That's a great point too. It is, because all of a sudden all these people are part of the club, and it's so fun. It's great. And to see the names show up every week, and it's awesome.
And to be clear, were our text strings published, I believe they're not unkind. They're just inane, like 95% of the time. They're just like, how are you talking about these things?
Yeah, I have been known to text them pictures of shoes I'm trying on before going on.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
And it's like, are these old lady shoes? And,
does this dress make my butt look big?
Does this cover suck?
Yeah.
That's the most important.
Yes, cover, titles, a lot about titles, a lot about publishing news.
I don't think we've gotten to the shoe level yet. We got to work on that.
Oh, yeah.
You guys need to work on that, man.
Yeah, you gotta up your game. I'm saying.
We do. Apparently, we need more fashion advice. Yeah.
Well, we have some fashionistas. We're lucky for that. I mean, if Kristy chimes in on it, if she gives us a thumbs up, then we know we're golden.
We're all good. Yeah.
That means I have to get out of my tennis shoes first, and that's a rare occasion.
Well,
Good luck.
I was at Nordstrom Rack. I will say that, and I did text I texted pictures of 4 shoes. I mean, okay, each of you killers, let's talk serious stuff about killing. You each have a new book out in 2024. Let's dig. See how I did that?
Yeah.
Let's dig into those a little bit. Kimberly, yours is the most recent release of the bunch. The Paris Widow came out on June 11th. What can you tell us about your new book in which a dream vacation turns
Deadly murder.
Wait, great
Thank
title,
you.
by the way.
Thank
Yes,
you. I did
great
not
title.
think of it. My editor did.
Okay.
So The Paris Widow is about a married couple, Stella and Adam, and they are on the trip of a lifetime, a 3-week tour through Europe, all their favorite spots. And on the last day of their vacation, they're in Paris and they're getting ready to go to the airport. Adam runs back to the cafe where they just had lunch. He forgot something there. And as he's running back, there's a big explosion, and the cafe where they had lunch is gone, and so is Adam. And in the coming days, the police come to Stella and they say that Adam wasn't just one of the victims, but the actual target of the bombing.
Ooh, chill bomb.
It was fun to write. I got to go to Paris and write it off.
Nice.
That's
Isn't that the
awesome.
best?
You and Kristin have it figured out. All right, Kaira, let's hear about Under the Palms. Again, another amazing title, which was released on May 21st. Tell us all about it.
Well, thank you. Yes. Under the Palms is book 2 of the Kingsley family. Beneath the Surface came out in September, and that was book 1. So the Kingsleys are kind of like Succession, and it's a patriarch, and he has 3 grown kids, and he's trying to decide who to leave his business to. And all of them are pretty rotten, actually. I like to write about, grown-ups behaving badly, and these spoiled rich people do just that. So the first book, they are on their dad's, Richard Kingsley's mega yacht, and they have a trip for the weekend to Catalina Island, and he's sizing them up, and bad things happen, and somebody might die, and then they might. Okay, yes,
might.
They probably do. They probably do die. Somebody does. And then on book 2, Under the Palms, which just came out, is set at my favorite resort here in Laguna Beach. It's called the Montage. I did not call it that. It's the Twin Palms. And the family is regathering to once again have a family retreat, the ones that survived. And again, they're all trying to get control of the company and the family business. So it's been really fun to write. It's a lot like Succession meets White Lotus, because I get to go kind of on that mega yacht and then to the Montage. And I love just being there in my brain all the time. It's been really fun.
That is awesome. We have a Montage in South Carolina.
Oh, you do?
It's where Justin Bieber got married, because he goes to the Montage in little celeb gossip, because he goes to the one by Laguna Beach. So.
Right. We get notices when he's in the neighborhood.
Oh, no, that's hilarious.
We did back in town. I know, it's kind of fun.
Oh,
we love
great.
it.
Oh, that's really funny.
What a great setting, though, for a novel. Fantastic. That's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, it was really fun. And kind of like Kimberly stomping around in Paris, I was like stomping around in the Montage. And then we went there like the night before, my husband and I did the night before the release. And I'm like, oh, I feel like I've been here for months.
Funny.
It was really fun.
Well, Heather, how about you? Will you tell us about your March 26th release? Everyone is watching. We know that May Cobb described it as Big Brother meets Clue, which I love. I mean, how could you not want to read it after that? So could you tell us a little bit about it? How would you describe it?
Yeah, so Everyone is Watching is the story of 5 strangers who come together. They're invited to take part in this over-the-top reality series where the big prize is $10 million. So they come from all walks of life. They're strangers. They get to this remote wine vineyard in Napa Valley, and they begin to play the games. And as the games get more and more dangerous and more deadly, they realize they were brought to this location for something else than they really thought they would be. And so as they play, as they get to know one another, they realize that secrets that they had hoped would stay buried are starting to come to the surface, and it's being live streamed across the entire world. And so not only are their secrets being revealed to one another, but to the world at large. So it was so much fun to write. A little bit different than what I usually do. Usually I squarely set in my my home state of Iowa, and I took a leap out of it with one of my characters who is from Iowa and threw her into this absolutely wild reality TV series. But it was a lot of fun to write.
You know, I love these plots and all these, God, y'all's brains. We just be in there for a little bit. That's amazing. Sorry, Kristin, what were you saying?
I was just going to say the settings too, like Paris, a vineyard in Napa, and the montage. How amazing. Like, it's like 3 different vacations we can take with your books. Those sound like the perfect books for everybody to add to their beach bags if I had to choose, right? In addition to Kristy's new book.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely. Now, we hope our regular listeners and viewers are well aware that the 4 of us at Friends in Fiction also have recent books out too. Also into, that's redundant. Forget I said that. My latest
self-editing. You are self-editing as you go.
If only it could happen in real life. My latest Summers at the Saint came out May 7th. And of course, we've already told you the reason Kristy, Woodson, Harvey isn't here today is because she's out on book tour right now promoting her brand new book, A Happier Life. Then Patti had the paperback edition of The Secret Book of Flora Lee come out in April. Patti, would you tell us a little bit more about what's coming out next from you and where readers can learn more about your new book and pre-order it?
Well, until March of 2025, which is when my new book comes out, March 4th, I will be reading and taking a vacation in these other books. But my newest book is called The Story She Left Behind. And we were talking before we came on air because Caira and I had the same book title one year, The Favorite Daughter. So the minute I think of a book title, I'm like, Google City. Like, is there a story she left behind? And it has a double entendre meaning. And I'm really excited about it because I've been working on it very quietly for almost 3 years now. But it was inspired by a true literary mystery. And it is a novel about a legendary book, a lost mother, and a woman searching for them both. It is set in 1952 in South Carolina and England. And it is about a prodigy author who abandons her family, including an 8-year-old daughter. And she leaves behind a sequel to her very famous novel, but it can't be translated because she wrote it in a secret language that she invented. Now, that daughter, Clara, is grown and has her own daughter when she receives a phone call from a stranger that sets them both off on a journey to find out the truth about her mother and the story she left behind.
I love it. I have so many questions.
I know.
What part of that was the true story? Is the secret language part of the true story?
Yes, there was a woman named Barbara Newhall Follett. And as soon as I say your name, you'll Google her and look her up. Yeah. And I actually thought, and you as authors know this, like what you think you're going to write about and what you end up writing about are not always the same thing. I actually thought I was going to write a book about her, and did spend a significant amount of time doing that and realized that I only wanted to use the interesting part. So she inspired the story. But yes, she was this child prodigy author in the 1920s who published her first novel when she was 12 years old. She wrote it when she was 8. She created an entire language, linguistics and everything. And when she was 25, she tragically got in a fight with her husband and left her apartment and was never seen again.
Isn't that crazy?
It's still a cold case. They still have not solved it. There are cold case podcasts about her. There's books about her. They still don't know what happened to her. And that was in 1920 something.
And I just saw your cover everywhere. You just did a cover reveal, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Beautiful.
And a title. I hadn't even talked about the title yet. So
I'm excited.
I'm really excited
March
about
2025.
Coming at you, baby. Coming at you.
And, Kristin, not to be outdone, you had the paperback edition of The Paris Daughter come out in May. How about you what can your readers look forward to in 2025? Kristin's been really quiet
I know. We don't even have a
About-
title.
about this book.
It's a few months after Patti, so it doesn't come out till June 2025. And I don't have a cover yet, and we haven't even finalized a title. So the working title is All the Diamonds in Paris. I think that title's, I think it's gonna stick. It's about a jewel thief in Paris during World War II. So she steals jewels from Nazis and collaborators to fund the French resistance. But she is betrayed and arrested. And the night she is arrested, her younger daughter goes missing and never turns up. There may or may not be a murder. And yes, I'm trying to get myself on your show. There may or may not be a killing. We can talk about all things murdery. I'm just kidding.
Kill.
Exactly. Kill. And then we, in 2018, meet the surviving daughter who has lived with this mystery and the guilt all these years. Until one day, the bracelet that went missing with her sister turns up, and she realizes if she can figure out where the bracelet's been all these years, she can figure out where her sister has been and what happened to her sister and who betrayed the family and all that. So clearly I don't have my pitch down yet. Patti does much better than me, but those are sort of the broad strokes. And hopefully we'll be seeing a cover and finalizing a title soon. So yeah, June 2025.
To see that what they do with that for a cover. I mean,
Yeah.
I already have all these imaginings of diamonds.
I love it.
So.
Yeah.
Sounds amazing.
Thanks. Thank you.
Yeah. And, even if in your book somebody thinks about killing somebody, you can still come.
What if we think about killing? Okay, I'm not even going to say it. All right. So we've talked about 7 books on this episode, 1 from each of the 4 hosts of Friends in Fiction and 1 each from the 3 hosts of the Killer Author Club. Now, we've got a special treat in store for you. Are you listening? We've got something special. We are giving all of our listeners, viewers, and community members the chance to win all 7 of these books. So stay tuned to both of our groups on Facebook and Instagram for news of how to enter and win. We will all be sharing this news out soon, along with a link to an entry form.
Okay, Heather, Kara, and Kimberly, can you tell everyone watching and listening out there how they can connect with each of you? Each of you personally, and then also with the Killer Author Club online. And also if you guys have any events coming up in like July, August, anything we can see you in person.
Yeah, well, I can be reached.
Kara, sorry.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. All right. I am at Rouda.com, which is a lot of vowels. So just, A-A-I-R-A. Well, it's right there. So yeah, there I am. And on social media, the usual spot. I also have a book coming out in August. I have been having an overachieving month or year.
Let's pause.
Oh my gosh,
tell us all about it.
tell
us.
2 weddings and 4 books. So 2 more books this year. So the first one is called The Second Mrs. Strom, and it's a sequel to my first suspense novel, Best Day Ever. And that comes out on August 16th. And so I'm excited about that. And then the next one in that series inexplicably comes out in November.
Oh my gosh. Do you ever sleep, Kara?
It's called, it's ridiculous, but it's called What the Nanny Saw, and that'll be out. But it was really fun to revisit the world of Best Day Ever. It's been 7 years since that book came out, and I'd always kind of had Paul Strom, the protagonist, rolling around in my head. He still had things to say. So it's been fun, and I got it all out, I think, now.
Oh my
She
gosh,
writes
that's
stupidly
amazing.
fast. We're really jealous of her.
Right? She's like their
so
Kristy.
jealous.
That's
Just
that's
like
how
their
Kristy
Kristy.
is
I'm
in our
jealous of that.
group. Same,
Yeah, me too.
exactly. Kara, are you going to be going on tour for that? Can our readers see you live and in person anywhere in August?
I hope so. First, I know that we're doing an event in Laguna Beach, and that'll be August 15th, but I don't have any details of the rest, but that'll be at the Parakeet Cafe in Laguna Beach. So that would be fun.
Fun. Okay, great.
Yeah.
And Kimberly, how about you? Can you tell us where we can
Yes,
find you online? If
I am
readers
on
wanna connect?
all the socials, so you name it, I'm on it. All the links to that is at KimberlyBelleBooks.com, and you can also click over to KillerAuthorClub.com and find my fellow killers.
That's awesome.
Fantastic. And how about you, Heather? Where can we find you?
Yes, so I'm at heathergudenkauf.com and on all the socials as well. And on Facebook, if you are a Facebooker, you can come join one or two or both of our Killer Author Club groups. We have a private group called the Killer Author Clubhouse, where we have some extra perks for those people who join there, and the Killer Author Club.
She's pointing to a baseball hat for those of you who are only listening.
For the regular killers. So you can come find us there as well. And I'm finishing up a few more events for everyone who's watching, but I'm really looking forward to this September when I have the opportunity to actually interview Jodi Picoult for her new novel. It's called By Any Other Name, and she'll be in Des Moines, which is the state capital of Iowa, and I get to be in conversation with her.
That's
so
amazing.
any Iowans
really
out there who want to make the trip, that will be a lot of fun.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. Okay, so in terms of watching your shows that you put on, we can watch them on Instagram, we can watch them on Facebook.
YouTube.
Are you on YouTube as well? YouTube as well. Fantastic. Great. Where would you recommend we tune in?
Doesn't matter, whatever your
Any
favorite is. We
Okay.
do our shows are live, so we do them they're almost always at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, and then we stream them to our Instagram Killer Author Club page. We stream them to our Facebook pages and our club pages, and then we stream it to YouTube at the same time. So we're kind of all over the place.
Okay, wonderful. Very similar to what we do, it sounds like, which is fantastic. So in addition to our individual tour stops, which you can always find on our individual websites, Friends in Fiction has several more live in-person events this year. And those are happening with all four of us together as a group this fall. We've got 2 events in North Carolina in September and 2 more in Florida in November. So you can look for all the news on the tour tab of our website at friendsinfiction.com. And Patti, thank you for mentioning that, because now it's up. Now
it's up on the website.
On
yeah.
Yep.
Perfect. All right, ladies, Heather, Kaira, and Kimberly, tell us what you have coming up on your show. Who is going to be killing stuff? Any guests or giveaways or cocktails in the works that you're particularly excited about?
Well, we love all of our guests, of course. But Heather, you probably know the roster better than me.
Well, we have Wanda Morris coming up, who we're really excited about with her new one.
Oh, we love her.
We have CJ Box, who is a fabulous mystery writer. He's coming. We have Jessica Knoll, who we just booked, which we're really excited about. And there are so many more, but people can check out our full schedule at killerauthorclub.com. Did I miss anybody, ladies?
Yeah. I think you got it. We're fortunate that we're booked all the way through next, I guess, till next spring already, which is really nice.
But our schedule on the website, I just updated it, so it's current all the way through till the end of the year.
Oh
my goodness!
Fantastic.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Jeff Deaver, Elizabeth Mondolando. I said her name wrong. We're just so excited every time we get that email. With somebody accepting our invitation, we're like, oh, wow, so much fun.
Or even emailing us and wanting to be on. That was exciting.
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
awesome.
That started to be like that. And we do the first Killer Author Club event next
March.
What is it, next
March.
February?
Ooh.
The first
March, yeah.
Right. March. I'm so bad at dates. But anyway, it'll be fun. So we'd love to do an in-person event with all 3 of us too.
That's
really
great.
fun.
So now at Friends in Fiction, we are super excited about our guest lineup for July and September. We finally just got it all locked down, and you guys check our website and our socials, and we will reveal all the amazing, surprising, great stuff we've got coming up.
But for now, I'm going to give you a couple hints to get you really excited, because we are welcoming back some very favorite authors back to the show, like Jamie Brenner and Emily Giffen and Greer McAllister and Jessa Maxwell, Laura Dave, and Jodi Picoult.
Yeah. You'll have to give her a shout out for us, Heather, when you see her in Des Moines.
Yeah.
And we're also excited for the chance to welcome some first-time guests like Christina Dodd, Marjan Kamali, Reese Bowen, and Madeline Martin.
And we are thrilled we'll finally get to talk to a couple of new to us Friends in Fiction heavy hitters such as TJ Klune and Leanne Moriarty. Yep, those two names. It's going to be a great rest of the summer at Friends and Fiction.
So, for all of you who have been watching, it has been so much fun to have our killer and fictional worlds collide. We encourage you to rush out and buy your copies of Kimberly's The Paris Widow, Kara's Under the Palms, and Heather's Everyone is Watching, and Kara's other 2 books coming out this year that you can pre-order and get, because she obviously has a twin sister in the basement. So the perfect, but everybody loved Best Day Ever. So to know there's some sequels coming up is great. The perfect place to get all of those books and ours is in the Friends and Fiction shop on bookshop.org. You'll be getting the books at a discount and helping to fund our show, all while supporting our guests and our beloved independent booksellers nationwide.
Kara, can you give us the name of those 2 books again? The Next Mrs. Strong, was it? And the
yeah, it's confusing. So the Second Mrs. Strong is the one that comes out in August, and then What the Nanny Saw is the November book.
Okay, that's fantastic. Amazing. Okay, wonderful. All right. So in addition to those books, while you're over there on bookshop.org, don't forget to pick up a copy of our 4th Friends and Fiction host's new book, A Happier Life by Kristy, Woodson, Harvey. As we mentioned, she's out on tour for this right now. So we also want to remind you to follow us on Instagram and join our Facebook group, which is nearly 250,000 members strong. When you visit friendsandfiction.com, you can stay up to date about everything we have going on. And you can also sign up for our weekly email newsletter, which is chock full of bonus content, and where I have a feeling that this week you'll be hearing from the Killer Authors Club.
Yeah.
Fun. Okay, lady killers. Thank you so much for talking about your community, your web show, and your books. It was such a pleasure speaking with you today. Thanks for being with us on the Friends and Fiction Show.
And everyone out there, be sure to tune in next week, because Ron and Mary Kay will welcome Christina Dodd to discuss her latest, A Daughter of Fair Verona. I can't wait to read that. It has to do with Romeo and Juliet. I'm really excited. So the show will air live on the Friends and Fiction Facebook page and YouTube channel on Wednesday, July 10th at 7 p.m. and then on our podcast on Friday, July 12th.
So thank you, ladies. We loved having you. And we can't wait to see more from the Killer Author
Thank you for
Club.
having us.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. So much fun. Thank you.
Oh, we were absolutely thrilled. And thank you also to all of you out there for being with us. We'll see you all next time. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you for tuning in. You can join us every week on Facebook or YouTube, where our live show airs on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Also, subscribe to our podcast and follow us on Instagram. We're so glad you're here.